So I'm Zoe. I like fitness, creating content, also like eating a lot. And I guess I'm in university right now. So I'm a third year uni student at the University of Sydney. And yeah, that's about it, I guess.
Cool. And what do you study?
I'm studying commerce and science.
Nice, nice. Have you
Yeah.
got like majors for those?
Yeah. So I'm majoring in marketing and physiology.
Okay, cool, cool. I guess what made you want to like study marketing and physiology?
Well, actually, my mum is in the marketing industry, and so I've kind of watched her growing up delve into a lot of like
Mm.
consumer behavior kind of things, and I thought it was really interesting. But then as I started getting older and getting into like biology and stuff, I realized that my interest kind of lied between the two, and so when I found a degree that suited those needs, I jumped right into it, chose both of them to study.
I saw in one of your videos you mentioned like having a room in Singapore. So like what was your background? Did you grow up like in between the two countries?
So actually, no, I was born in Melbourne. So
Okay.
my citizenship is Australian,
Yeah.
but I moved when I was like 2 months old because my parents had found work in Malaysia and my mom's from Malaysia as well. So it was easy. We had a lot of family there. Grew up in Malaysia until I was about 10, and then I moved to Singapore. And I was there up until now for uni. I came back. But we have family, some extended family in Sydney who live quite far away relatively. And so we used to come here every year anyway. So I guess I was kind of familiar with the area before I came.
Cool. Oh, okay, so you grew up in Singapore and Malaysia.
Yes, I actually never grew up in Australia, like at all.
Oh, that's
I
strange. I
missed
feel
out on
like
it.
your accent is very Australian though. Like,
Really? I've
yeah,
heard mixed comments, very mixed comments.
yeah.
It actually used to be very American because I grew up with a lot of Canadians and Americans, I guess, and people from the UK as well in school, in high school, and but I like hated it. So I guess subconsciously I wanted it to change anyway. And then I came here and started talking to Australian people, and I guess it kind of integrated slowly into that, a
Cool.
mix of
Yeah.
both.
So, well, how come you chose to go to like University of Sydney?
For a long time, I wanted to go to America just
Yeah.
because it's some place that I've always wanted to go, and I've still never been. But at the end of the day, like with Australian citizenship, it's first of all cheaper, and second,
Right.
it's I guess it's easier to get in terms of like the application process. And like I just want to streamline things. It was super efficient to like apply and get in and everything. And also, it's a good university. It just wasn't in my radar until like the last 2 years of high school. But also, I have family here, extended family. And so that kind of played a role in my decision as well to have contacts here as well.
Yeah. Cool. How, I guess, what was the accommodation like? Did you stay in, is it halls?
Yes, I stayed in a hall. So we have colleges. I'm sure it's the same with you guys, but we have colleges which are kind of like more community based. And then we have halls, which you're pretty much on your own and you live in your own room, but you share bathrooms and a kitchen and laundry, and you kind of, yeah, do everything for yourself. We have events and all of that, but you're pretty much, yeah, living like an adult, I guess. But it was really good because most of my friends that I have now were from the halls, from the accommodation. And it was a good way to like meet people and get involved in like events and stuff. And I eventually worked there as well for a year and a half. So it was a good source of income for a bit as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I was watching one of your videos and like you had this really fancy coffee machine. Like, did you
Yeah.
bring that or yourself? Or was that like,
Actually, I have a Nespresso, but that coffee machine is my boyfriend's. And so
oh,
he
okay.
lived in the accommodation as well. It was technically like not allowed at all, but my
Yeah.
managers and everyone who owned like worked for the building, they knew that I had it, and like no one said anything. So like we kept using it.
You mentioned before it's like quite busy. Is it like quite hard or?
Yeah, I mean, I was never like, I guess I work hard, but I don't see myself as like a smart person. And so it takes a lot for me to absorb information and like kind of understand things. So from the uni standpoint, like it's easy to pick things up, but then you forget it like as soon as you kind of close the lecture or whatever. So partial, like part of the reason why it's so stressful is because I have to take a lot of time to actually try and understand things. And then because I'm in third year as well, I guess your majors start to specialize a bit and they get in like really in depth into the information. All of that combined, plus a lot of assignments and projects and group projects, it builds up. It's really, really stressful.
Yeah, I mean, I guess since you're doing like a double degree, right? Do you have to take like extra courses? Like what's your kind of schedule like, I guess?
I'm doing two majors. I'm not even sure if it's like a double
Oh,
degree
okay.
at all. Like honestly, if you ask anyone who's taking the same, it's called like advanced studies, but no one really knows what exactly it is. So all I know is I have a fourth year to do an advanced project or do a thesis. That's it. But it's not actually that much of a load compared to people who do like, I guess, legitimate double degrees
Yeah.
where they have to take core classes for everything and like all of that. It's pretty much a standard load compared to like someone who's taking just one major or like two majors from one degree.
Yeah, so I guess like what's your timetable like? Would you have class every day?
Yes, so I have classes every single day. I don't go to uni every day, but I'm at uni like 3 to 4 times a week, which is fine because I live quite close. But yeah, I mean, it's not too bad, I guess.
Cool. So are you guys back in person? Like what was it online last year?
Yes. So for obviously when COVID got really bad during March and all of that, we had a huge lockdown and uni was kind of like scrambling to get everything online and get things flowing, but they didn't do very well. I mean, I guess we can't really blame them. And for a few months, everything was in lockdown and uni was online and uni continued to be online up until actually last semester we had a few options for a few classes where you could choose to go in person, but it wasn't many. And now I'm really lucky because I know a few people still don't have the option to go in person, and all of my units this semester gave you the option to go. And so obviously being in Sydney, I was like, I'm not going to stay at home and like study from my room. So I decided to go in person for everything.
So I don't know if you've heard there's like this trans-Tasman bubble going on.
Yes.
So I was wondering what is like the situation in Sydney? Is it pretty much like back to normal?
Yes, which is amazing. I feel like we had everything really under control. Obviously the lockdown was pretty shit, but after that, I feel like we had very little community cases, and because their borders are closed, like there's not really much chance for people to come in and spread the virus either. Which I assume is like why we've opened the bubble. I assume it's the same in New Zealand as well. Right?
Yeah, I think we're definitely like probably one of the best countries like in terms of how we handled it. Yeah, like I know everyone from overseas is like really jealous that we can go out and like
not wear masks.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely better than us as well though.
Yeah, I think we still have to wear masks on public transport. Is that the same for you guys?
We actually got rid of that rule, I think a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess going into your YouTube now, like what made you want to start making YouTube videos?
I actually got asked this question like a few days ago, but I realized that when answering it, I realized that I actually had a lot of chances in school to edit videos for projects and like all of those things and for assignments. And I always took charge on those because I just found that I was like, oh, I like things going my way and I like editing videos. And so it kind of fit. And I had a few YouTube channels before this one where they were just kind of like me and a friend making covers. Like, yeah, I used to sing when I was younger, or like literally like the most stupid stuff when I was a kid, like just drawing a picture on paint and posting it as a YouTube video with music in the background. But I guess it's always been there, but I didn't really realize it that I actually had a proper passion for it until when I created the YouTube channel.
Yeah, cool. So I was wondering also, like, who are your favorite YouTubers? Like, are there people that you kind of, I guess, aspire to be like, or kind of want to not copy, but like give you ideas?
I really enjoy like vlogging YouTubers. So a lot of American ones, surprisingly, like Emma Chamberlain, the really big ones. And I take a lot of editing inspiration from Claudia Sulewski. I don't know if you know her. I'm sure like
I've heard of her. I don't really watch her like that.
I take a lot of editing inspiration from her because it looks really nice to me, and I think that that's something that I want to integrate as well. And I also watch people like Sarah's Day and Georgia someone. She's a weekly vlogger, so basically the same kind of vibe in terms of content.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and obviously you've spoken about like your interest in fitness, so I was kind of wondering, how did that all start? Like, were you always like quite sporty, or?
Yeah, I used to play sports in high school. I only started playing in grade 9, so I was about 14, I think. And I got into I played varsity sports from my high school from grade 10 till when I graduated, pretty much. It's funny because I also had a bit of struggles with like my body image and like food and eating and all of that. So I guess when I started my fitness journey, it was kind of for the wrong reasons. And I played all those sports to like get skinnier and make myself smaller. And like when I started transitioning to like what I do now, which is more like powerlifting, bodybuilding kind of stuff, I started doing it for the right reasons. And so I guess I had two starts to my fitness journey. The one was like sports and like all of that. And then now it's more like for my own mental peace and for my own physical health, I guess, in terms of just instead of just looking better.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's really important. I'm assuming your viewers are probably like the same age or even younger. So like having that. Yeah, it's
definitely.
Cool. I was wondering, like, do you have any advice for people? Maybe they're in other countries and like maybe they can't go to gyms. Like, what can they do maybe to stay fit? Or
I mean, literally, like I feel like I preach this a lot. Not necessarily in my videos, but like as a person, I feel like there's so many forms of exercise that you can do that isn't just like taking a dumbbell at the gym and like bicep curling it. I don't know. Like even beginners, they will start with like walking once a week or something, like going outside, hiking. And I find that figuring out what you enjoy, and it doesn't necessarily have to be going to the gym. I know a lot of friends who enjoy running. I know people who enjoy swimming, like things that don't require equipment, like dancing, I don't know, jump roping. I feel like that is what helps you stick to it. Even doing like home workouts, if you don't have access to a gym, can be very effective and very enjoyable if you're into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's just about finding like what you enjoy and like what suits you.
Yeah, you definitely don't need access to those kinds of facilities. Like I feel like, and this is kind of ironic because I have access to a gym, but I feel like people who preach like go to the gym, lift weights, like it's kind of, I feel like I'm walking on thin ice, but it's kind of privilege in a sense that like not everyone can do that. Not everyone has the time or access. And like, I know a lot of people go on about not having excuses and like you're making excuses, but some people genuinely cannot do that. And so, again, it's like important to find something that works for you and your schedule and your interests that may not necessarily be, like the gym might not necessarily be a part of that, which is completely fine.
Yeah, and even I feel like people sign up to a gym and then they never go. So like,
such a waste of money.
yeah, I guess just finally, I like to ask people about the city that they're from. Like, so did you say you grew up mostly in, was it Malaysia?
I remember Singapore more, to be fair. I was older there. Yeah.
Okay, so like any recommendations if someone's visiting Singapore?
Well, first of all, don't go there for too long because it gets boring. Coming from someone who lived there for like 10 years. But visiting is super fun, and because it's such a small little like island, you definitely get the chance to like go around the entire country. And I definitely recommend do that. Visit all the touristy sites, like no matter how like basic that is. 100% go everywhere, take pictures, go to the local hawker stalls. Very cheap food, very good food, and it's very true to the people of Singapore, I think. And I think a lot of people from Singapore will tell you that as well.
Yeah. Is it quite diverse? Like
I think
for an Asian country, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, especially because there's a lot of I mean, not only like tourists coming in from different countries, but also a lot of people who live there, expats, and a lot of the workers there are from like Bangladesh and India and stuff like that. There's a very diverse range of like not only races and ethnicities, but also like income levels and like I guess the ways of living, which is interesting to see. Especially if you go to like different areas, you'll see like different kinds of people.
Yeah, because like people that visit, I think they always say how expensive it is, but then I'm sure there's like other cheap options that they don't know
about. There's definitely ways to get around that.
Yeah. I guess is there like national dishes or like foods that you think people should really try?
I think this is kind of a touchy subject surprisingly for a lot of like Singaporean Malaysians because they overlap a lot. And so for what I think is like a national dish might not be, I don't know, some Malaysian might be like, what the fuck, no. But chicken rice, curry laksa, which is like, I'm sure you know what these are, right? Like I don't have to explain these.
I've heard of it. You can explain it.
Okay,
what
good.
You might not know.
I mean, so obviously chicken rice is just like chicken rice, and curry laksa is pretty much just this like curry noodle dish in a soup that's like kind of very spicy, kind of sour, very delicious. And they usually do it with like seafood and stuff. I might be wrong, actually. I don't think I'm very, I don't think I'm as cultured as other Singaporeans, definitely. And they have like satay, and which is like chicken on a stick with peanut sauce, which is amazing, and just so many other like dishes. And one that not many people have is deep fried, I think it's crab, I'm not sure, or prawns, maybe deep fried prawns, and they just dip it in mayonnaise, and you can get those at the hawker stalls. And it sounds kind of gross to some people, but freaking love it. It's so good. It's
Okay.
really delicious. Yeah.
Cool. I guess now it's like your new home, which is Sydney, right? I feel like that's probably more of a realistic travel destination, at least for me. So yeah, any recommendations in Sydney of like things to do, places to go?
Honestly, just go through. I feel like the city is a place that a lot of people want to go to,
Yeah.
but also like places like Newtown, which is like, I'm completely biased because I lived there when I was in student accommodation. I lived in Camperdown, so it's really close to Newtown. And I don't know, I feel like it's kind of controversial. Some people might be like, no, not Newtown, but some people love it, and I'm one of the people who love it. So
Yeah.
it's really, I guess it's really quite happening every day of the week, pretty much. Especially on the weekends, there's a lot of like bars and pubs and like little vintage shops that you can go around and have a look at, and a lot of cute cafes. The good thing about it is that it stretches out to suburbs like Erskineville and more, where there are also a bunch of other stores that spread out there as well. So there's this huge strip where you can just like walk around and explore. It takes like ages to go from one end to the other.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah, well, that's pretty much all my questions.
That was fun.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thanks
I'll
for
leave
having me.
all your stuff down below so people can go subscribe and check out your channel. Have a good night. Yeah.
Thanks, you too.